Section 1B, the muscles. Candidates need to be able to describe and explain simply how muscles and their composition, or how they're made up, their function and their actions affect movement and performance in games or physical activity. You need to know the difference between fast twitch for power activities and strength activities and slow twitch for endurance activities such as long distance running or cycling. You need to be able to explain how games, activities and exercise affects composition and efficiency of muscles, or in other words, how they work. Focus on the deltoid, trapezius, pectorals, biceps, triceps, latissimus dorsi, abdominals, gluteals, quadriceps, hamstrings and gastrocnemius. These are all the muscles that you need to know how to spell and understand where they are on the body. If you can explain how that physical exercise changes the muscle through making it thicker and stronger and more powerful, and it can apply that to a practical activity, brilliant, you're going to pick up the marks. You need to be able to explain how improved muscle functioning through training can improve performance and participation. Try and use a practical example and suggest maybe that when a footballer develops upper body strength, they can hold off an opponent very easily. When a 100-meter sprinter develops the strength and power in quadriceps, hamstrings and gluteals, they can explode off the blocks quicker and obviously as a result become a better 100-meter runner. There are many examples that you can use, and try and use common sense here to explain the effect of bigger, stronger and more effective muscles. Antagonistic muscle action explains how muscles work in pairs. Muscles can only pull bones, and to use a good example, when you're kicking a football, the hamstrings pull the lower leg up towards the buttocks. When the hamstrings relax, the quadriceps contract and they straighten the leg out quickly to strike the ball. The quadriceps and the hamstrings are thus antagonistic pairs. The prime mover is the muscle that starts or initiates the movement. So when striking a ball on the backswing, the prime mover is the hamstrings bending the leg. On the downswing, as the player goes to kick it, the prime mover is the quadriceps. A synergist muscle is one which helps, and the word synergy means helps or supports. So when kicking that football, the gastrocnemius may be classed as a synergist muscle because it holds the foot in the right position, ready to strike the ball accurately. When doing a tennis serve, the tricep is the prime mover as you go to hit the ball, but the deltoid is a synergist muscle holding the arm up in the right position to allow the performance to take place. The role and function of tendons during physical movement is very straightforward. They attach muscle to bone. When the muscle contracts, it's the tendons that take the strain and are attached to the bone. When the muscle contracts then, the bone lifts or moves in that direction. Skeletal muscle will respond and adapt to extra strain or overload being placed upon it by physical exercise. When you work a muscle and train it over prolonged periods of time, you get something called hypertrophy, which is greater muscle development or muscle growth. But the same happens in the opposite way, whereas if you have a prolonged period of inactivity, maybe due to injury, you have something called atrophy, which is muscle wastage. You can see this when somebody breaks a bone and is in plaster for 3 or 4 weeks. The size of the muscle when the plaster comes off has reduced. We can train our muscles to meet the demands of the exercise we're involved in. The harder we work the muscle, the more it will adapt.